I'm sitting in my truck behind a closed grocery store staring at my phone screen. The message glows in the darkness like a brand. You won't survive without me. Enjoy the gutter. My wife, ex-wife, whatever she is now. 3 months ago, I had everything. A $19 million logistics company I'd built from nothing. A house in the suburbs with a pool, 2 kids who still hugged me goodnight, a marriage I thought was solid. Now I have a 2009 Ford F-150 with a cracked windshield and a sleeping bag that smells like defeat. I'm 51 years old, and I'm homeless. The grocery store parking lot is empty except for me. It's November, and the cold seeps through the metal frame like the truck itself is giving up. I've been parking here for 2 weeks. The manager knows but hasn't called the cops yet. Small mercies. My phone buzzes again. Another message from her. The kids don't want to talk to you. Stop calling. I set the phone down. My hands are shaking, but not from cold, from rage, from grief, from the kind of exhaustion that comes from losing everything you spent 30 years building. 3 months. That's all it took to dismantle my entire life. I close my eyes and try to remember when it started. When did Michelle stop looking at me like a partner and start looking at me like an obstacle? When did Richard Brenner, her Millionaire boss, stop being a professional contact and start being something else? The signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. Late nights at the office. Business trips that seemed excessive. The way she started dressing differently. Expensive clothes I didn't remember buying. Perfume I didn't recognize. But I trusted her. She handled payroll for my company. She knew every number, every account, every vendor relationship. I gave her complete access because she was my wife. That trust destroyed me. I reach into the glove compartment and pull out the legal papers. They're crumpled now from being read and reread. Like maybe if I look at them enough times, the words will change. They don't. Financial misconduct, misappropriation of funds, tax evasion, all accusations with my name attached. All lies crafted so carefully that even my own lawyer looked at me with suspicion. Michelle and Richard had been planning this for months, maybe years. Building a case, creating evidence, positioning themselves to take everything. And they did. The house went to her in the emergency custody hearing. The judge believed her tears, her testimony about my erratic behavior, and financial crimes. My business accounts were frozen pending investigation. My reputation was shredded across industry forums and social media. Within 2 weeks, I lost my company. The board voted me out based on the accusations. Richard stepped in as interim CEO. My own creation, stolen by the man who was sleeping with my wife. My kids won't talk to me. Michelle convinced them I'm dangerous. That I stole money meant for their college funds. That I'm the reason Mommy cries. 8-year-old Emma and 12-year-old Jake. I haven't seen them in 6 weeks. The court order says I'm too unstable for unsupervised visits. I need to complete a psychological evaluation first, which costs money I don't have. Everything I built, everything I was, gone. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. I lean my head against the steering wheel. The metal is cold against my forehead. Outside, a security light flickers, creating shadows that dance across the empty parking lot. Tomorrow I need to figure out food. The sandwich shop 2 blocks over sometimes leaves expired stuff in the dumpster around closing. Not spoiled, just past sale date. I'm not there yet. Not quite, but I'm close. My phone buzzes a 3rd time. I almost don't look. But something makes me pick it up. Not Michelle this time, my cousin Danny. Hey man, heard about your grandfather's cabin. You clearing it out? Need help? I stare at the message. Grandfather's cabin. I'd forgotten about that place. My grandfather died 8 months ago. The cabin was his refuge, a place he'd built himself in northern Montana, hours from anywhere. I inherited it, but I'd never been there. Never had time. Too busy building my company, building my life, building the foundation of my own destruction. I type back, didn't know it needed clearing. What's there? The response comes fast. Just his old stuff, I guess. Thought you might want to check it out before winter really hits. Place is pretty remote. I look around the parking lot, at my truck, at the sleeping bag, at the remainder of my life. What else do I have to do? I type, I'll head up there tomorrow. After Danny confirms, I set the phone down and try to sleep. But sleep doesn't come easy in a truck bed when you're 51 and your entire world has collapsed. Instead, I think about the past, about the choices that led here, about Michelle's face when she handed me the separation papers, when she said, "You never really saw me, did you? You were too busy being important." Maybe she was right. Maybe I was too focused on growth, on expansion, on building something that would outlast me. Now I have nothing that will outlast tomorrow. The security light flickers again, then goes dark completely. The parking lot becomes absolute black, and I'm alone with my thoughts and the cold. Morning can't come fast enough. I wake at dawn to someone tapping on my window. A cop. Young guy, mid-20s, hand resting on his belt but not threatening. Yet, I roll down the window. Cold air rushes in. "Morning," he says. "You can't sleep here." I know, I'm leaving. He looks at me for a long moment, evaluating, deciding if I'm worth the paperwork. There's a shelter on 5th Street. They serve breakfast until 9. "Thanks." He walks away. Doesn't run my plates. Doesn't ask for ID. Another small mercy. I start the truck. The engine coughs twice before catching. I need to get the battery checked. Add it to the list of things I can't afford. The shelter on 5th Street has a line outside. 15 people, maybe 20. All ages, all circumstances, all trying to survive another day. I can't do it. Not yet. I'm not ready to stand in that line, to admit that this is my reality now. Instead, I drive. North. Toward Montana. Toward my grandfather's cabin. Toward something that's mine, even if it's just an old building full of memories I never made. The drive takes 6 hours. Highway miles that blur together. Towns I don't recognize. Landscape that gradually shifts from plains to foothills to mountains. I stop once for gas. Put in $20, all I can spare. Grab a coffee and a gas station sandwich that tastes like cardboard. The woman behind the counter looks at me with something like pity. I must look worse than I thought. I haven't shaved in a week. My clothes are wrinkled from sleeping in them. My eyes have that hollowed-out look that comes from too little sleep and too much loss. "You okay?" she asks. "Fine, thanks." She doesn't believe me, but she lets it go. Another mercy. Back on the road. More miles, more landscape, more time alone with thoughts I don't want to think. By 3 in the afternoon, I'm on county roads, then Forest Service roads, then something that barely qualifies as a road at all. Just 2 tire tracks through tall grass. The cabin appears suddenly, nestled in a clearing surrounded by pine trees. It's smaller than I remembered from the one time I saw photos. Log construction, single story, metal roof. Weathered but solid. I park and get out. The silence is absolute. No cars, no people, no sounds except wind through pine branches and the distant call of a bird I can't identify. The cabin door is locked. I find the key where Danny said it would be, under a rock shaped like a turtle near the front steps. Inside smells like old wood and dust. Furniture covered with sheets, a wood stove in the corner, small kitchen with a hand pump for water, bedroom with a single mattress on a metal frame. My grandfather lived here for months at a time, especially after my grandmother died. He'd disappear for weeks, and we'd worry, but he always came back looking more solid, more centered. I never understood it. Now, standing in this silence, I'm starting to. I spend an hour looking through his things. Books about mining and geology, maps of Montana with areas circled, notebooks filled with observations about rock formations and mineral deposits. My grandfather was a mining engineer before he retired. Worked all over the West. Made decent money but never seemed to care about it much. He lived simply. Saved carefully. Left everything to me in a will that Michelle couldn't touch because it came after our marriage fell apart. This cabin, 20 acres around it, and whatever else he had hidden up here in the middle of nowhere. I'm pulling sheets off furniture when I notice the mattress sits unevenly, like something's underneath it. I lift one corner. Nothing. Lift the other corner. There's a bulge in the fabric. Someone sewed something into the mattress itself. I find a knife in the kitchen. Carefully cut open the stitching. Reach inside and pull out an envelope. Old, yellow with age. My name written in my grandfather's handwriting, Thomas. My hands shake as I open it. Inside is a land deed. Not for this property. Different coordinates. Somewhere else in Montana. And a note in my grandfather's precise script. Thomas. This land has been in our family for 4 generations. Your great-great-grandfather bought it for nothing in 1891. I've kept it secret for 60 years. When you read this, I'll be gone. The land is yours now. Do with it what you think is right. But first, go see what sits on it. Tell no one until you understand what you have. Trust only yourself. The coordinates are marked. Go soon. Time matters. Grandfather. I read it 3 times. Then I pull out the deed and examine it. 320 acres in Flathead County, Montana. Legal description, survey markers, all properly recorded and notarized. But it's the coordinates that make my breath catch. I pull out my phone. No signal here, of course. But I have offline maps downloaded. I type in the coordinates. The location loads slowly. Then I'm looking at satellite imagery of somewhere about 40 miles from here. What I see doesn't make sense. Not wilderness, not empty land, not forest. 3 massive white buildings, industrial structures with metal roofs, parking lots full of vehicles, what looks like mining equipment, security fencing, roads leading in and out. And according to this deed, it's all sitting on my land. I zoom in closer. The buildings have markings, company logos. I can just barely make out the text. Apex Energy Solutions, Lithium Extraction Facility. My heart starts pounding. Lithium, mining, industrial operation, on land that apparently belongs to me. How long has this been here? Who authorized it? What kind of operation is this? I grab the deed and the note and walk outside. The sun is lower now, casting long shadows through the pines. I need to get somewhere with cell service. I need to understand what I'm looking at. I lock up the cabin and drive back toward civilization. 20 minutes later, I'm parked at a gas station with 2 bars of signal. I type Apex Energy Solutions, Flathead County, Montana, into my phone. The results fill my screen, articles about lithium mining, press releases about expanded operations, investment reports, stock analyses. Apex Energy Solutions is a major player in lithium extraction. They supply battery manufacturers, electric vehicle companies, energy storage facilities. They've been operating in Montana for the past 9 years. 9 years. I scroll through more results. Find an investor presentation from 3 months ago. Open it. Slide 12 shows their Montana facility. The same buildings I saw in the satellite images. The text reads, Primary extraction site, operating since 2015, producing 15,000 tons of lithium carbonate annually, projected revenue of $87 million for fiscal year. $87 million. From my land. My hands are shaking again. But not from cold or defeat this time. I dial information, get transferred to the Flathead County Land Office. A woman answers. County Clerk's Office, this is Margaret. Hi, I need information about a property. I have a land deed and coordinates. I can help with that. What's the location? I read her the coordinates from my grandfather's deed. There's a long pause. Then, can you hold, please? Before I can answer, she transfers me. The phone rings 4 times. Then a man answers. This is County Clerk Howard. You're calling about the coordinates in Sector 7? Yes, I have a deed from 1891, showing ownership. Another pause, longer this time. Sir, what's your name? Thomas Merrick. And you're saying you own that land? According to this deed, yes. It was my great-great-grandfather's. Passed down to my grandfather, now to me. Mr. Merrick, that land currently has an active industrial operation, Apex Energy Solutions. They've been there for 9 years. Do you have documentation proving your claim? I'm looking at it right now. Original deed. Properly recorded. Do you have records showing who authorized mining on this property? More silence. I hear paper shuffling. Computer keys clicking. Then, Mr. Merrick, I'm going to need you to come to the office. Tomorrow, if possible. Bring all your documentation. This is complicated. How complicated? Sir, if your deed is legitimate and I have no reason to doubt you yet, then Apex Energy has been operating on private land without proper authorization for 9 years. That's a significant problem. My heart is racing now. What kind of problem? The kind that involves back royalties, penalties for unauthorized extraction, and potential legal action. You need a lawyer, Mr. Merrick. A good one. And you need to come in tomorrow so we can verify your documentation. Back royalties, I repeat. How much are we talking about? I can't say until we verify everything. But, sir, if you own that land, and if Apex has been extracting lithium without your permission for 9 years, producing the volumes they claim in their reports, you're looking at substantial compensation. Define substantial. He hesitates. Then, multi-million-dollar substantial? Possibly more. But don't get ahead of yourself. We need to verify everything first. I thank him and hang up. Sit in my truck at this gas station, staring at the deed in my hands. My grandfather knew. He knew what was on this land. He knew what it was worth, and he kept it secret. Tell no one until you understand what you have. I'm starting to understand. And if this is real, if this holds up, if I actually own that land and those mining rights, Michelle and Richard took everything from me. My company, my house, my kids, my reputation. They left me with nothing but a sleeping bag and a truck and the will to survive one more day. They thought they'd destroyed me. They have no idea what's about to happen next. I start the truck and drive back to the cabin. I'll spend the night here, in the silence and the cold. Tomorrow I'll go to the county office. I'll verify this deed, and then I'll find out exactly what my revenge is going to look like. I spend the night in the cabin. It's warmer than the truck, barely. The wood stove works once I figure out the draft. I burn some old logs I find stacked outside, and the heat gradually fills the small space. But I don't sleep much. My mind won't stop racing. Lithium mining, 9 years, $87 million in revenue, my land. By dawn, I'm exhausted but wired. I make instant coffee with water from the hand pump. It tastes like rust and possibility. The drive to the county office takes an hour. I arrive at 8:30. The building is old brick, 2 stories with a flagpole out front. Inside smells like old paper and bureaucracy. Margaret at the front desk recognizes my name. Mr. Merrick, Clerk Howard is expecting you. 3rd door on the left. Howard is 60-something with white hair and reading glasses hanging from a chain. His office is packed with filing cabinets and maps on every wall. He stands when I enter. Mr. Merrick, thank you for coming. You have the deed? I hand him the envelope. He opens it carefully, examining the document with the focus of someone who's seen thousands of property records. Original paper. Correct weight. Seal looks legitimate. He pulls out a magnifying glass, studies the signatures, the date, the legal description. Then he turns to his computer, types for several minutes, pulls up what looks like digital archives. Here, he says, turning the monitor. This is the original county record from 1891. Hiram Merrick purchases 320 acres for $200. Legal description matches your deed exactly. So it's legitimate? It appears to be. But let me check something else. More typing. More records pulling up. Transfer of deed in 1923 to Hiram's son, Robert. Then in 1961 to Robert's son, James. That's your grandfather, correct? Yes. And James died 8 months ago. Deed should have transferred to his heir. That's you? According to his will, yes. Howard leans back, takes off his glasses, rubs his eyes. Mr. Merrick, do you know what's sitting on this land? Apex Energy Solutions, lithium mining operation. Do you know how they got authorization? No idea. He turns back to his computer, opens a different database. Apex applied for mining permits in 2014. Their application listed the land as... He pauses. As public domain, managed by the Bureau of Land Management. But it's not public domain, it's private property. Correct. Which means their permits were issued based on false information. Whether they knew it was false or not, that's a question for lawyers. But the bottom line is, they've been operating on your land without your permission for 9 years. What happens now? Howard opens a drawer, pulls out a business card. You need to call this man, Terrence Holland. He specializes in mineral rights and land disputes. He's handled cases like this before. Cases like what exactly? Unauthorized resource extraction from private land. If Holland takes your case, and if your deed holds up in court, Apex is going to owe you a lot of money. How much? He picks up a calculator, types numbers. Lithium royalties typically run 8 to 12% of gross revenue. Apex claims $87 million annually now, but they ramped up over 9 years. Let's say average revenue of $40 million per year. Conservative estimate. He shows me the screen. $28,800,000. $28 million. I stare at the number. That's royalties? That's back royalties for 9 years. Conservative, plus you'd be entitled to ongoing royalties, plus penalties for unauthorized extraction, plus damages. This could easily be a $50 million case. Maybe more. The room tilts slightly. I grip the edge of his desk. Mr. Merrick, you okay? Yeah. He hands me the business card. Call Holland today. He'll want to see all your documentation. He'll verify the deed independently, but if everything checks out, you have a very strong case. What about Apex? Do I tell them? No, not yet. Let your lawyer handle that. If Apex finds out before you're ready, they'll start hiding assets, restructuring, doing everything they can to limit liability. You want to hit them fast and hard with legal documentation they can't refute. I take the card, stand up. My legs feel unsteady. Mr. Merrick, one more thing. If this goes the way I think it will, your life is about to change dramatically. You're going to need to be ready for that. I'm ready for anything that's not sleeping in my truck. He nods. Fair enough. Good luck. I walk out of the office in a daze. Sit in my truck for 20 minutes just staring at the business card. Terrence Holland, attorney at law, mineral rights and resource litigation. I dial the number. A receptionist answers. Holland Law Group. I need to speak with Terrence Holland. It's about mineral rights. It's urgent. Mr. Holland's calendar is quite full. May I ask who's calling? Thomas Merrick. I have a deed showing ownership of land in Flathead County. There's an unauthorized lithium mining operation on it. Has been for 9 years. Pause. Hold, please. 30 seconds. Then a man's voice, deep and direct. This is Terry Holland. You said unauthorized lithium mining? Yes. Apex Energy Solutions. They've been operating on my land since 2015. How do you know it's your land? I have the original deed from 1891. County clerk verified it this morning. Apex is operating on your land right now. Active extraction? According to their investor reports, they're producing 15,000 tons of lithium carbonate annually. Long silence. Then, Mr. Merrick, where are you right now? Flathead County, near the property. Can you be in Missoula by 2 this afternoon? Yes. My office. Bring every piece of documentation you have. Deed, will, county records, everything. If this is what you say it is, you and I are about to become very close business associates. What do you charge? We'll discuss that, but if this case is legitimate, I'll work on contingency. 30% of whatever we recover, you don't pay unless we win. Deal. See you at 2. He hangs up. I sit there processing. 30% of 28 million is still over 9 million for me. $9 million. 3 months ago, I had 19 million in a company I built from nothing. Then Michelle and Richard stole it all. If this works out, I'll have half that back. In cash. That they can't touch. That they don't even know about. I start the truck and drive. Missoula is 3 hours away. I stop at a rest area bathroom and try to make myself presentable. Shave with a disposable razor in cold water. Change into my least wrinkled shirt. I look tired, worn down, but there's something else in the mirror now. Something that wasn't there yesterday. Hope. Dangerous, terrible, beautiful hope. I make it to Missoula by 1:30. Holland's office is downtown, 4th floor of a modern building, reception area with leather furniture and abstract art on the walls. The receptionist is the woman I spoke to earlier. Mr. Merrick, Mr. Holland is ready for you. She leads me down a hall to a corner office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, huge desk covered with papers and law books. Terry Holland is younger than I expected. Early 40s, fit, expensive suit, handshake like a vice grip. Sit. Show me what you have. I spread everything on his desk. The deed, my grandfather's note, county clerk's documentation. Apex's investor reports I printed at the library. He examines each document carefully, doesn't speak for 10 minutes, just reads and compares and cross-references. Finally, this is legitimate. You're sure? I'm sure. Your deed is real. County records confirm it. And Apex is definitely operating on your land without authorization. He taps the investor report. They're even bragging about it in their financial documents, claiming production from a facility they have no legal right to operate. So, what happens now? Now we move fast. First, I'm going to file a quiet title action that legally confirms your ownership beyond any dispute. Second, we send a cease and desist to Apex. Third, we file suit for back royalties, penalties, and damages. How long does that take? Quiet title, maybe 3 months. The lawsuit against Apex, probably 2 years to settlement. But here's the thing. As soon as we file, Apex is going to panic. They have billions invested in that facility. Shutting down would cost them tens of millions. They're going to want to settle fast. How fast? 6 months, maybe less. And they're going to offer you a number that makes this all go away quietly. What kind of number? He leans back, studies me. Here's what I think. Apex has been producing lithium from your land for 9 years. They've generated somewhere around $300 million in total revenue. Royalties alone put you at 35 to 40 million. Add penalties and damages, we're looking at 60 to 80 million in total exposure for them. My mouth goes dry. 80 million. That's worst case for them. They'll offer to settle for less, probably 40 to 50 million. Still transformative money for you. I can't speak. $40 million. After losing everything, after sleeping in my truck, after being told by my wife I'd die in the gutter, $40 million. Holland continues. But here's what you need to understand. This is going to get ugly. Apex will investigate you. They'll dig up everything. They'll try to discredit your claim, attack your character, question your grandfather's ownership. They'll throw everything they have at this. Let them. They can't change the fact that it's my land. No, but they can make your life uncomfortable. Are you ready for that? I think about Michelle, about Richard, about losing everything and having no one believe me, about sleeping in a parking lot at 51 years old. I'm ready. Good. One more thing. When Apex finds out about this, other people are going to find out too, including anyone you'd rather not deal with. Ex-wife, for example. She already took everything I had. This is mine. She can't touch it. You're sure? No joint property claims? No ongoing legal issues? We're divorced. Final. She got the house, the company, everything. This inheritance came after all that. It's mine alone. Perfect. Then let's do this. He pulls out a contract. Standard contingency agreement. I get 30% of whatever we recover. You pay court costs up front, but I'll front them if you can't. If we lose, you owe me nothing. If we win, we split according to this agreement. I read through it. It's straightforward, fair, and it's my only option. I sign. Holland grins. Welcome to the fight, Mr. Merrick. Let's go make you very, very wealthy. The next 2 weeks are a blur of paperwork and legal strategy. Holland moves fast. He files the quiet title action within 3 days, serves Apex with notification of the claim within 5. I'm back at my grandfather's cabin when Holland calls with the update. Apex received our initial notice yesterday. I got a call from their legal department this morning. And they're scared, very scared. They offered to discuss an amicable resolution. That was fast. They know they're exposed. Their entire Montana operation is illegal. If we push this to court and win, they'll have to shut down immediately. That's catastrophic for them. So what did you tell them? That we'd be willing to meet, but we're not settling cheap. I'm thinking we open at $70 million. Let them negotiate us down to $50. $50 million. The number still doesn't feel real. When's the meeting? I ask. 2 weeks. They want their senior legal team and some executives there. We'll meet at a neutral location in Helena. You need to be there. I'll be there. After we hang up, I sit on the cabin porch watching the sun drop behind the mountains. The air is cold and clean. The silence is complete. For the first time in months, I feel something like peace. My phone buzzes. Text message, unknown number. Is this Thomas Merrick? I hesitate, then respond. Who is this? Philip Brenner. Richard's brother. We need to talk. Richard. Michelle's boss. Her partner in destroying my life. I haven't heard that name in weeks. Haven't wanted to. Why would I talk to you? Because I know what they did to you, and I know they're scared. I stare at that message for a long time. Then, scared of what? Words getting around, about your lawsuit, about the land. Richard is panicking. Michelle, too. They think you're coming after them next. I'm not. This has nothing to do with them. They don't believe that. Richard wants to meet, wants to clear the air. His words. Tell him no. Tom, listen. I'm not on their side. What they did to you was wrong. I told Richard that, but he's family, so I'm trying to help him avoid making things worse. Meet with him, let him say what he needs to say, then move on. Why do you care what happens to me? Because I know you. I was at your wedding. I've known you for 15 years. You're a good guy who got destroyed by people who should have protected you. You deserve better. I don't respond. I'm trying to figure out if this is genuine or another manipulation. Finally, I type, where and when. Tomorrow, coffee shop in Billings, neutral ground, just you and Richard. I'll be there too as a witness, no tricks. 1 hour, that's all he gets. Deal. I'll text you the address. The next day, I drive 3 hours to Billings. The coffee shop is in a strip mall, generic and anonymous. I arrive early, scan the parking lot. No sign of Richard's Mercedes. I go inside and order coffee. Sit in a corner booth where I can see the entrance. Richard arrives 15 minutes later. He looks terrible. Weight loss, circles under his eyes, expensive suit that hangs wrong on his frame. Philip is with him. Younger, calmer, clearly the stable one in the family. He nods at me. Tom, thanks for coming. Richard doesn't meet my eyes. He sits down across from me, hands folded, jaw tight. Talk, I say. Richard takes a breath. I heard about your lawsuit, about the land, the mining operation. And I want to know if you're planning to come after me, after the company, after Michelle. Why would I? Because He stops, starts again. Because of what happened. You mean because you and Michelle destroyed my life? Stole my company? Turned my kids against me? He flinches. I didn't want it to go that far. I laugh. It's not a pleasant sound. You didn't want it to go that far. You forged documents accusing me of crimes I didn't commit. You manipulated my board. You took over my company and ran it into the ground. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? I'm 51 years old, Richard. 3 months ago, I had everything. Now I sleep in my truck. My kids think I'm a criminal. My reputation is destroyed. You did that. You and Michelle. Philip puts a hand on Richard's shoulder. Let him finish. I lean forward. I'm not coming after you, Richard. Not because I don't want to. Because I have something better now. Something you can't touch. You stole my company. Fine. It's yours. Run it into bankruptcy for all I care. But this land, this money that's coming, this is mine. And there's nothing you can do about it. Richard's face goes pale. How much are we talking about? None of your business. Tom, please. I need to know. Michelle and we're in trouble. The company isn't doing well. The board is asking questions. If you come after us legally, I'm not coming after you legally. I'm going to take my money and rebuild my life somewhere you can't touch me. You and Michelle can rot in the mess you created. What about the kids? That stops me. What about them? If you suddenly have money, Michelle's going to fight you for custody. She'll say you hid assets. She'll use it against you. She already used everything against me. There's nothing left for her to take. You don't understand. She's not stable right now. The company is failing. She's stressed. She's talking about moving, taking the kids somewhere you can't follow. My blood goes cold. She can't do that. The custody order doesn't specify geography. She can move anywhere in the state or out of state with court approval. And if she claims you're suddenly wealthy and hiding it, judges get suspicious. I look at Philip. Is that true? He nods. It's possible, especially if she argues you concealed assets during the divorce. This inheritance came after the divorce. It's mine. In theory. But family court doesn't always follow logic. If she makes enough noise, if she gets the right judge, she could cause problems. I sit back, process this. Michelle taking Emma and Jake somewhere I can't reach them, using my own recovery against me. What do you want, Richard? I want to make a deal. You leave us alone. Don't go after the company. Don't try to reverse the divorce settlement. And I'll make sure Michelle doesn't fight you on custody. I'll convince her to let the kids see you. Why would she listen to you? Because I'm all she has left. Her friends dropped her when the company started failing. Her family doesn't talk to her. I'm the only one who still takes her calls. I can influence her. And what do you get out of this? Peace, knowing you're not going to destroy me the way I destroyed you. I study his face. He's genuine, desperate and guilty and terrified, but genuine. Fine. Here's my deal. You keep Michelle away from my lawsuit. You don't let her use this against me. You make sure I can see my kids, and I won't touch the company. I won't reverse anything. You can keep what you stole. Thank you. I'm not finished. You and Michelle broke something in me, Richard. Something that can't be fixed. I trusted you both. I let you into my life, my business, my family, and you gutted me. So understand this. If Michelle violates our agreement, if she tries to take my kids or interfere with my case, I will come after you, both of you, with every resource I have. And I'll bury you so deep you'll never see daylight again. Are we clear? He nods, pale, shaken. We're clear. Good. Now get out. He leaves. Philip stays behind for a moment. That was generous, he says quietly. It was strategic. I don't want them in my life anymore, not even as enemies. You're going to be very wealthy soon. If the case works out, yeah? What are you going to do with it? I think about that, about Emma and Jake, about the life I had and the life I'm going to build. I'm going to be their father again. I'm going to show them that getting knocked down doesn't mean staying down, and I'm going to make damn sure no one ever has the power to destroy me again. Philip nods. Good luck, Tom. After he leaves, I sit alone in the coffee shop. And my coffee is cold. The place is nearly empty. And for the first time since this started, I feel something like control. Michelle and Richard can keep the company, keep the house, keep everything they stole. Because what I have now is mine. Built on rock, they can't move. Protected by law, they can't manipulate. I drive back to Montana, back to the cabin, back to waiting for the meeting with Apex. 2 weeks later, Holland calls. We're on for tomorrow. Helena, 10 a.m. You ready? I'm ready. Remember, let me do most of the talking. They're going to try to intimidate you. They're going to make low offers and act like it's generous. Don't react. Stay calm. We walk away if we don't like their number. What's our walkaway number? 45 million minimum. I think we can get 50, maybe more. $50 million. That's right. Get some rest tonight. Tomorrow we change your life. The meeting takes place in a conference room at a law office in Helena, neutral territory. When I arrive with Holland, 6 people are already there. 2 lawyers from Apex, 3 executives, including the CEO, and a woman I don't recognize taking notes. The CEO is Carl Vance, 50-something, silver hair, expensive suit. He stands when we enter but doesn't offer to shake hands. Mr. Merrick, Mr. Holland, thank you for coming. Holland sets his briefcase on the table. Let's not waste time with pleasantries, Carl. Your company has been operating illegally on my client's land for 9 years. You know it. We know it. Let's talk about how you're going to make this right. One of the lawyers, a woman with severe glasses, speaks up. We dispute the characterization that we've been operating illegally. Our permits were issued properly through the appropriate channels. Permits based on false information, Holland counters. You claimed the land was public domain. It's not. It's private property. Has been since 1891. Your permits are invalid. Vance raises a hand. Let's not turn this into a courtroom. We're here to find a solution. Good, Holland says. Then let's hear your offer. Vance nods to one of his lawyers, who slides a folder across the table. Holland opens it, reads. His expression doesn't change. He closes the folder, slides it back. No. Vance blinks. You haven't even heard our full proposal. I read it. $8 million. That's insulting. It's a generous offer given the disputed nature of the claim. There's nothing disputed. The deed is legitimate. The county confirmed it. You're operating on my client's land without authorization. $8 million doesn't even cover 2 years of back royalties. The woman lawyer tries again. Mr. Merrick needs to understand that litigation could take years. Legal fees alone could run into millions. Our offer provides immediate resolution with no risk. I speak for the first time. I'll take the risk. Vance looks at me. Really looks. Mr. Merrick, you seem like a reasonable man. You've faced some hardships recently. Legal troubles, divorce, business problems. We understand that. We're offering you a way to move forward without years of expensive litigation. You investigated me. We did our due diligence. We know your situation. $8 million could solve a lot of problems. Holland puts a hand on my arm. Subtle signal to stay quiet. Carl, Holland says, let me explain something. Your due diligence should also have told you that my client has nothing to lose. No assets, no business, no leverage you can threaten, which means he can afford to fight this for as long as it takes. Can you? We have substantial resources and substantial exposure. If we go to court and win, you'll owe $50 million in back royalties, plus penalties, plus damages, plus legal fees, and you'll have to shut down the Montana facility immediately. That's what, another $200 million in losses? The room goes quiet. The lawyers exchange glances. Vance leans back. What number would resolve this? $65 million. One of the executives inhales sharply. That's absurd. That's fair, Holland interrupts. 9 years of unauthorized extraction, $300 million in generated revenue. We're asking for roughly 20% of what you've made from land you had no right to use. That's more than reasonable. We'll never agree to that, the woman lawyer says. Then we'll see you in court. Holland stands. I follow his lead. Wait. Vance holds up a hand. Please sit. Let's keep talking. We sit. Vance huddles with his team. Whispered conference. Calculators come out. The lawyers pull up something on a laptop. Finally, Vance turns back to us. We can go to $35 million. Final offer. Holland shakes his head. 55, and you cover our legal fees to date. 40, that's as high as we can go. 52, and you establish an ongoing royalty structure for future extraction. Market rate. Renegotiable every 5 years. More huddle. More calculator work. One of the executives looks like he wants to be sick. Vance finally nods. 45 million. We cover your legal fees. And we establish royalty structure of 8% of gross revenue going forward. Renegotiation rights after 5 years. But we need complete release of all claims. No future litigation. This ends it. Holland looks at me, raises an eyebrow. It's my call. $45 million. Plus ongoing royalties that could be millions more per year. Plus the current mess with Michelle and Richard stays contained. One more thing. I say. Vance tenses. What? I want a formal apology, in writing, from your company, acknowledging that you operated on my land without authorization. For what purpose? Because people need to know I'm not a liar, not a criminal, not someone who made this up. I want documentation that proves my claim was legitimate. Vance considers this, then nods. We can do that. Apology letter, acknowledging the oversight, not admitting criminal wrongdoing, but confirming your rightful ownership. Deal. Holland pulls out his laptop. I'm drafting settlement terms now. We'll have our version ready by end of business today. You review overnight. We sign tomorrow. Agreed, Vance says. He stands. This time he does extend his hand. I take it. You're a tough negotiator, Mr. Merrick. I learned from tough teachers. After they leave, Holland and I sit alone in the conference room. $45 million, he says, plus ongoing royalties, plus vindication. You did good. We did good, thank you. My pleasure. You'll get my final invoice soon, but rough math. I'm taking $13.5 million. You're walking away with $31.5 million. After taxes, probably $21 to $22 million liquid. That enough to rebuild your life? I laugh. Actually laugh. Yeah, that'll do. Good. Now let's get this paperwork locked down before they change their minds. The settlement is finalized 3 days later. I sign. Apex signs. Holland files it with the court. The wire transfer hits my new bank account on a Friday afternoon. I'm at the cabin when Holland calls to confirm. Check your account. I open my banking app. The number on the screen doesn't look real. 31,487,550 $31 million. I have to sit down. Tom, you there? Yeah, I'm here. I'm just processing. Take your time. You've earned it. Now go live your life. After we hang up, I sit on the cabin porch for an hour, just staring at nothing, trying to absorb what just happened. 3 months ago, I lost everything. They stripped me down to nothing, made me homeless at 51, told me I'd rot. Now I'm wealthier than I ever was before. And it's money they can't touch, can't steal, can't manipulate. My phone buzzes. Text from Philip Brenner. Heard about your settlement. Congratulations. Richard asked me to tell you he'll keep his end of the deal. Michelle won't fight you on custody. I text back, tell him thank you, and we're even now. Will do. What are you going to do next? See my kids. I drive straight to Billings, to the house that used to be mine, that Michelle got in the divorce. I park across the street. It's 6 p.m. Lights are on inside. Through the window I can see movement. Michelle in the kitchen, Emma and Jake doing homework at the dining table. My kids, I haven't seen them in almost 3 months. Jake is probably 2 inches taller. Emma probably lost another tooth. I should call first. Should arrange something proper. But I can't wait another day. I walk up to the front door. Knock. Michelle answers. She sees me and her face goes pale. Tom? What are you? I'm here to see my kids. You can't just show up. Mom? Jake's voice from behind her. Is that Dad? Emma appears next to him. Her face lights up. Daddy. She pushes past Michelle and runs to me. I catch her. She's heavier than I remember. Growing up too fast? Jake follows more slowly, cautious, but he hugs me too. I missed you guys so much, I say. My voice breaks. We missed you too, Emma says. Why did you go away? I had some things I needed to fix, but I'm back now, and I'm not going anywhere. Michelle stands in the doorway. Her expression is complicated. Fear, resentment, relief, all mixed together. Can I take them for ice cream? I ask. She hesitates, then nods. 1 hour. Bring them back by 8. Thank you. I drive my kids to the ice cream shop we used to go to. They talk over each other, competing for my attention. School stories, friend drama, things they've been saving up to tell me. I listen to every word, memorize every detail, store it all away. After ice cream, we sit in the truck, just the 3 of us. Dad, Jake says carefully, are you okay? Mom said you were having problems. I was, but things are better now, a lot better. Are you still living in your truck? Emma asks. I smile. Not anymore. I have a cabin now, in Montana. It's pretty nice. Want to visit sometime? Really? Her eyes go wide. Can we? If your mom says yes, I'll ask her. What happened? Jake asks. Why did everything change? I think about how to answer that. The truth is too complicated, too painful. Sometimes adults make mistakes, I say finally. Your mom and I made some mistakes, but that doesn't change how much I love you. That never changes. Do you still love Mom? Emma asks. I'll always care about your mom, but things are different now. We're not going to be together anymore. You understand that, right? They both nod. Jake looks sad. Emma looks confused. But you'll always be my kids, I continue, and I'll always be your dad. That doesn't change no matter what. Okay? Okay, they say together. I drive them home, walk them to the door. Michelle is waiting. Thank you, I say. She nods. Looks like she wants to say something. But then she just takes the kids inside. I drive back to Montana, to the cabin, to the silence and the peace and the future I'm going to build. I have $31 million. I have my kids back. I have proof that I was right all along. Michelle and Richard can keep the company, keep their guilt, keep their sleepless nights. I have something better. I have my life back. And this time, no one can take it from me. 2 months pass. I use the time to rebuild foundations. First priority, proper housing. I buy a 3-bedroom house in Missoula. Nothing extravagant. Just solid. Comfortable. A place where Emma and Jake can have their own rooms when they visit. Second priority, legal protection. Holland connects me with a wealth management firm that specializes in high net worth clients. They set up trusts, LLCs, investment accounts. Everything's structured so that my money is protected even if someone tries to come after me again. Third priority, my kids. I hire a family lawyer to rework the custody agreement. Michelle doesn't fight it. Philip was right about Richard's influence. Now I have Emma and Jake every other weekend, plus holidays, plus summer weeks. It's not enough, but it's more than I had. The fourth priority emerges unexpectedly. I'm at the cabin going through more of my grandfather's belongings when I find another envelope. This one in a box marked Private James Merrick Only. Inside are more documents, more land deeds, different locations, Wyoming, Nevada, Idaho. My hands shake as I read through them. My grandfather didn't just own land in Montana. He owned mineral rights in 3 other states. Small parcels, maybe 50 acres each, but all with the same notation. Survey confirmed. Lithium deposits present. Hold for Thomas. He knew. He knew what was under that land. He'd surveyed it all, and he'd kept it secret for decades. I call Holland immediately. Terry, I found more land, 3 more properties. My grandfather's documents say they all have lithium deposits. Silence. Then, are you serious? Dead serious. Wyoming near Rock Springs, Nevada near Elko, Idaho near Salmon, and all properly deeded, all apparently containing lithium. Have you verified the deposits? Not yet. Just found the documents. Don't do anything. I'm bringing in a mining consultant, someone who can survey the properties and tell us what we actually have. If your grandfather was right about Montana, he might be right about these too. The consultant is a woman named Dr. Sarah Reeves, geology PhD, 30 years in mining exploration. She looks at my grandfather's notes and nods approvingly. Your grandfather knew what he was doing. These survey notes are excellent. Old methodology, but thorough. Can you verify them? I can do better than that. I can do complete modern surveys using current technology. Give me 2 weeks per site. I'll tell you exactly what's under each property and what it's worth. She starts with Wyoming. I fly out to meet her there. The property is high desert, nothing remarkable to look at. But when Sarah shows me the survey results, my breath catches. Confirmed lithium deposits, high grade, conservative estimate, 3 million tons of lithium carbonate equivalent. What's that worth? Current market prices, extracted and processed, about $15 billion. I actually laugh. That can't be right. It's right. But understand, that's total value. Extraction costs, processing, infrastructure, environmental reviews, permits, all of that cuts deeply into profit margins. Realistically, if you leased this to a mining company, you'd get maybe $1 to $2 billion in total royalties over the life of the mine. $1 billion from one property. What about the others? Nevada is smaller but higher grade. Idaho is larger but harder to access. By the time Sarah finishes all 3 surveys, the numbers are staggering. Conservative estimate across all 3 properties. $2 to $3 billion in lifetime royalties if properly developed. I sit in Sarah's office in Missoula looking at the reports. My hands are shaking again. Your grandfather was a genius, Sarah says. He identified these deposits decades before lithium became valuable. He held them through every boom and bust, and now they're worth a fortune. What do I do with them? That's up to you. You could lease them to mining companies. You could develop them yourself, though that requires massive capital and expertise. Or you could just hold them. Lithium demand is only going to increase. These properties will get more valuable every year. I need to think about this. Take your time. But Tom, be very careful who you tell. Word gets out that you own billions in lithium rights. You'll have everyone from mining companies to foreign governments trying to get a piece. Trust nobody. I leave her office and drive aimlessly for an hour. Processing, planning. The Montana property has already changed my life. These 3 new properties could change everything. My phone rings. Michelle. Tom? We need to talk. About what? About the kids and about what happens next. We meet at a coffee shop. Neutral ground. She looks tired, thinner. Her expensive clothes don't fit quite right anymore. Thank you for seeing me, she says. What did you want to talk about? She takes a breath. I want to apologize. For everything. For what happened with Richard. For the lies. For turning the kids against you. I was angry and stupid, and I made choices I can't take back. I don't respond. Just wait. Richard and I are done, she continues. The company is failing. He's drowning in investigations about the hostile takeover. My friends won't return my calls, and the kids ask about you constantly. What do you want, Michelle? I want to know if there's any way to fix this. Not the marriage. I know that's over. But maybe we could be civil. Maybe we could co-parent without lawyers and fighting. I'm already doing that. I see the kids every other weekend. We have a schedule. I know, but I was thinking maybe more. Maybe we could do holidays together, family dinners sometimes, show Emma and Jake that we can still be a family, just a different kind. I study her face. She's genuine, broken and desperate and full of regret, but genuine. Why the change? Because I lost everything too, Tom. I thought Richard and I were building something, but he was just using me, like he used you. And now I'm alone with 2 kids and a failing company and the realization that I destroyed the only person who ever really loved me. You destroyed more than that. You destroyed my reputation, my career, my relationship with my kids. I know, and I'm sorry. I can't make it right, but I want to try. Please. I drink my coffee. It's cold. I'll think about it, I say finally. For the kids, not for you, for Emma and Jake. They deserve parents who can be in the same room without destroying each other. Thank you, that's all I can ask. After she leaves, I sit there for a long time, thinking about forgiveness, about moving forward, about what kind of father I want to be. Michelle hurt me. She and Richard almost destroyed me, but holding on to that anger only hurts me more. The kids need to see that people can survive betrayal and still choose kindness. I text her. Thanksgiving. My new house. You're invited if you want to come. Just family, no lawyers, no past, just moving forward. Her response comes immediately. Thank you. I'll be there. The weeks until Thanksgiving blur together. I furnish the new house, buy beds for the kids' rooms, set up a proper kitchen, make it feel like home. I also start exploring what to do with the new properties. Holland connects me with mining companies interested in leasing. I take meetings, listen to proposals, learn the industry. One company, Horizon Resources, makes an offer I can't ignore. They want to lease all 3 properties. 20-year agreement. Upfront payment of $50 million, plus 20% royalties on all extracted lithium. Holland reviews the contract. This is excellent. Solid terms, fair royalty structure, and they're a reputable company. They'll handle all the development costs, all the environmental review, all the permits. You just collect checks. What's the downside? You're locked in for 20 years. Can't renegotiate even if lithium prices skyrocket. But honestly, it's a good deal, and it diversifies your income. You'll have money coming in from Montana and from these 3 properties. Multiple revenue streams. I sign the deal. The $50 million hits my account 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I now have over $80 million in liquid assets, plus ongoing royalties that could be $5 to $10 million per year, plus property, plus investments. I'm wealthier than I ever imagined possible. Thanksgiving arrives. Emma and Jake come 2 days early. We decorate the house together, buy groceries, cook. They're excited to see their mom and me in the same space without fighting. Michelle arrives Thursday morning. She brings dessert, stands awkwardly in the doorway until Emma pulls her inside. Your house is nice, she says. Thanks. Coffee? Please? We move through the day carefully, polite, distant, but not hostile. The kids are happy. That's what matters. After dinner, after the kids go to bed, Michelle and I sit on the back porch. The night is cold but clear. This is strange, she says. Yeah. I never imagined we'd end up here. You with a fortune, me with nothing but regrets. Life's strange like that. Are you happy? I think about it. Really think. I'm getting there. The money helps. Having the kids back helps more. What are you going to do with it all? The money? Build something. I don't know what yet. But something that matters. Something my kids can be proud of. She nods. That sounds like you. We sit in silence for a while. Then she stands. I should go. Thank you for today. For letting me be part of this. The kids need their mom. That doesn't change. After she leaves, I sit alone watching stars, thinking about the journey, about losing everything and finding more than I ever had. My phone buzzes. Text from Holland. Apex quarterly royalty payment just posted. $2.3 million. Merry Christmas. I smile. Pull out my grandfather's letter from my wallet. I've carried it every day since I found it. Tell no one until you understand what you have. Trust only yourself. I understand now, grandfather. I understand everything. You didn't just leave me land. You left me a foundation, a second chance, a way to rebuild from absolute zero. And I'm not going to waste it.